Hello, so today we're going to have a quick look at setting up AStar for our characters, moving around a terrain-based world. So what we're going to do first is if you make a game object, just an empty one, add the pathfinder to there. So I think that's in component, pathfinding, AI, and then AI path. Hang on, that's not it. It might be here. This one, sorry, it's pathfinding. Add that to there. And so I'm just doing a grid graph for basically this terrain. So one of the issues that you can find is that normally with a grid graph like this, you might not be able to see this graph. That's because your gizmo is probably off. So make sure your gizmo is on so you can see it. But essentially you just create the scene. I'll create the graph, put it in there. We're going to be choosing grid graph as we got. Okay, so you can make it bigger and smaller by changing these. Like you can see how it grows bigger and smaller there. I'm not going to worry too much about it. You can change the node size so it's a bit smaller. I've probably got it a little bit too big for this one. That's okay. I've created an obstacle layer mask, so a lot of the objects in here, like this hut, you might notice it's an obstacle. A tree over here, that's an obstacle. So one of the big issues is that your terrain. Select the terrain. Nope. Oh, there it was. So if you select the terrain, it's too much stuff. So a terrain, if you've got like trees in there, like we got here, when I do a scan, it's not going to scan any of these trees. So even if I have a look at, the layers, it's an obstacle. But when I do a scan, it still doesn't pick up the fact that. Probably not the best example because that one doesn't have a collision on it. Hang on, I'll grab one of these other ones. I think this one might have collision. Yes, it's got collision. It's got obstacle on it. So even though it's obstacle, it still doesn't come through as being detected. So if we go to AStar, wherever that is, and we do a scan. Okay. So with our scan also one of the other thing is max slope. So you're seeing a lot of, like as the slopes, a lot of these red nodes are from, in fact you can't walk up the hills, that sort of thing. But if you have a look at the trees here, they don't have, and they're not in the canopy either. The trees don't have a red point on them. So this one here, these are all the trees that were actually painted. So that one doesn't have one. And so the problem is if you start the game, characters like this guy here is going to be stuck behind the tree. They're not going to be able to get to you. So in order to fix that a little bit, what I did is as soon as it runs I do a rescan. So it's really just doing a star path, activate, and then scans everything all over again. So that seems to make it run a little bit better. So if I run it again, should be able to see a little bit of difference in the. So as soon as we start, okay, so we've regenerated the entire graph again. And you can see now that they're up in the canopy, but at least they're actually being triggered there, and so it should make it a little bit harder for these guys to get stuck. The other thing I need to do, I think I need to make them a little bit smaller so they don't get quite stuck quite so much. Okay, so there's that. So for Opsive and creating like a character that can move about with AStar is pretty easy. So if you go Opsive, Ultimate Character Controller, then just go Character Manager. We've got our character here. Let's drag it in there. Make sure that their model type is humanoid. This will all break if it's not a humanoid and fall over. So you'd run that. Make sure the AI agent is set. I'd normally update character, but that's all good. The other thing you need to do is download the, I'm not sure if I can find it, here it is. You need to download the AStar pathfinding project, so download that, install it, and then once you've got that, you need to add this, once you've installed that AStar component, you'll have this option to be able to add AStar AI management movement to him. So now that he's got that, he'll still just stand there. So you also need to add there's a lot of stuff on here. AI path, so that he paths towards you. Seeker AI destination. So at the moment he's tracking Adonis, which is good. And I got a raycast modifier just to make his movement a little bit smoother. I could probably actually make that a little bit bigger, I'm guessing, so that it's about the same size as the tile. See if that makes a difference. And yeah, so that's it. The next thing after all that, you'll need to find a way of getting the enemy to attack. So that's not something I've done yet, but I'll do that probably in the next video. Okay, thanks very much.